Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Christo. This is the If Necessary for Years, If Necessary Alone campaign. Thank you so much for joining me. We are pushing across North Africa, fighting the Italians at sea, hemming the Germans in with our very modern strike force, or at least some parts of it are pretty modern. We haven't actually looked at like some of these honor rolls yet, but yeah, involved in quite a few sinkings, this HMS Valiant right here. How about the Hood? How's our flagship doing, sinking wise? One cruiser and one destroyer. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, we are mobilizing the economy. About to go to partial mob, which will be obviously huge for our industrial capacity. We are taking general election. Incumbent party wins. Gain 40 political power and 2 stability. Cool, that's fine. Election. Government contested. With the upcoming election, people are becoming to question the capability of the current administration to pew the ongoing war. The crisis of trust is highly unfortunate, or let the political landscape shift to keep people united. 7% communism and fascism gain in exchange for 5% stability, and 10% stability swing, and a 75% political power swing. Well, political power, like the only thing that our ruling party is doing right now is giving us a little bit of a change to stability, right? Ruling party popularity is 6.3%. Yeah, I'm okay with communism and fascism gaining a little bit of popularity in order to get a bonus here, because we're already growing conservative anyway, and communists and fascists are very small, so sure, I'll take the stability. Sure, the British Union of Fascists have grown, but they're shrinking anyway. Which gives us some new decisions, potentially. I should probably do these refuge ones for the 2% research speed, but I don't know, 2%... It's not that much, is it? What's this new decision it's telling me I could do? Ah, war propaganda. I think I need the political power instead. Could get 10% more, but could also get straight up on basic bonds. Could go to high standards. I would quite like to go to high standards, actually. Longer training time is not that bad. More organization recovery rate is pretty nice. 2% ticks up, you're already above 100% stab. Oh, because we were just... Right, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, ah, well. We've got the political power still. I think I do want to raise my standards. Is that what I want to spend my political power on right now, though? We could raise our tariffs or something. I don't know. These are they're such big trade-offs. I'm a little intimidated. I think maybe we save our political power so we can get war economy right after partial mobilization finishes, because I don't think there is a war economy focus that we can do. So yeah, I think I'm gonna save the political power so we can go straight to war economy. Ooh, it lowers the escorts. That's cool. All right, moving in. Still dominating the skies. Germany not doing much against me at home anymore. Let's spread these guys out. No, they're not defending somewhere very specific from active bombing, just so they're more spread. And in fact, I'm tempted to take these Polish guys and bring them down here. Well, what we should do while we're not actively being attacked in England, actually, is train these guys up. And the close air support here can hard pivot from the sea to here. And then you guys can switch to here. Good. Yeah, some close air support would be helpful here. We are struggling to push back these guys. That Alpine division is doing great work against us. All right, hold then. Let's get some planning bonus. We've got them stalled here now, which is because I really don't want to take Tunisia, obviously, because I want to be able to base my carriers here. You know what now might be an okay moment to do? Merge these two fleets and then split them in half. just to kind of balance between the two of them. Because right now, this one is quite a bit weaker. And there are all these guys repairing. I think we'll leave it as is for now. There's a fight. Is one of them getting sent to this? Surely it should be, right? Docked and docked? Ah, because they're already winning, basically. Okay. Alright, come on. Take Derna. Give us some more supply. Yeah, so this place... the way supply works is a bit weird. The fact that this is having to supply all of these different naval air bases, even though they're not based out of this port. I suppose actually I might be able to change that. Click to select task forces as a base to assign for repairs. It's just these two, so it's not that they're assigned there. Okay, there we go. Driven them back. What are you? Why are you not moving to the front? Just because you're on really low supply. That's fair enough, but do it anyway. Likewise. Okay, Derna should fall momentarily. Their supplies here must be terrible. I guess we'll try and get these guys a bit of plan, then go for Gabe's, and then come in and cut them off. Now, for that to be the case, let's move some guys over. Okay, and yeah, the French, while the French are still around to fight the Italian Navy, I'm very, very glad that they are doing so. Hopefully the award being declared early basically just means that the French get way longer to actually help and then fight the Germans off. That seems like that's the it's kind of the main outcome so far. Are you guys not deployed? Oh, because there's no actual active combats going on, right? Yeah, constantly spotting people. Constantly taking out these titchy little German defense fleets they keep foolishly sending out. It's such a cool little noise. And yeah, once we get that thing decrypted again, we'll be back on the in terms of knowledge about the German sitch. Are you going to help the French defend the border with Belgium? We're going to try. But we are very short on equipment. I'm very short on men. So, yes. But yes, I am going to try. Which could be a disaster, but we'll see. The longer we can keep the French alive, the better it is for our North African campaign, which is where my attention is focused. Speaking of which, this is going pretty well. Gondor is not a supply hub, but it is an air base. And they are moving from it, so I would like to push them out of there if possible. And if we can get an encirclement here, they might have left Addis Ababa completely open. If you want to come in here and hit him here, let's try and... Oh, no, not attacking with you. Hold. Hold, you fools. They're meant to be support attacking. Good. Okay, with an actual border guard division here, I feel confident we're going to be able to push them back there. And that's actually an honest-to-God British infantry division right there. Okay, cutting in here. This border guard is not going to be able to take him alone. Let's just leave him there. Alright, these guys did indeed let themselves become encircled. Silly goose. We'll just make this loop, beat them here, and then come back. In fact, actually, I could probably pin them here. Yeah, let's do that. These guys will take some casualties, but that's okay. Nice. Polish exile leader. Useful. Alright. Moved up to the front here. Reorged. New supply. Spot. Which means they're now in much better shape. Balance-wise, we're only 6 supply short now on the whole front. That's excellent. Meanwhile, the French are in a bad spot. They probably have people repairing here. Ships, that is. We may be able to capture them. That would be excellent. One of these guys. Both of them sallying forth, in fact. Okay, and yeah, more transport ships. Yeah, the total naval dominance we've managed to achieve here is, I think it's going to be decisive. Because, yeah, they're in really bad supply state. Let's actually do a little bit of a full frontal here. Railway network, that again is going to help a lot. Dockyards 3, excellent. Railway is supply range, isn't it? No, railway construction and and retention, nice. Production efficiency base is pretty good. As is political power. Attrition's also, I mean, it's all good, man. It's all good. I think we do need better fuel refining. Let's do that. It's not, you know, it's not sexy tech, but it's going to be good for us. Fuel gain per oil, I mean, very similar. Get some catalytic cracking going on. We're Factorio now. Yeah, lost this one sadly, but just because we showed up a bit late, basically. You guys pretty much orged up, got some planning bonus. I'm going to let these guys leave. Just give me another 8 days before I can do anything there. Undefended German convoys. Easy wins. Dead Italian subs. You love to see it. We might start, like, trying landing actions against Italy much earlier than historically. We'll see. I mean, if we can secure North Africa, the thing is, we may have to, like, declare war on Vichy France, which would suddenly be a very challenging prospect, right? It's a heck of a front to engage on. Alright, these guys are attacking out. That's not a good idea. Yeah, I would like to rush Addis Ababa, because if we can just, you know, cut off their supplies, it kind of trivializes things here. You are attacking on the wrong angle. Pushed them out here. You can loop around and then, yeah, go join them on the push for Addis Ababa. Got them there. Still running low on fuel just because, yeah, we're running a lot of it. We do need to, I think it's good to not kind of have sudden increases in fuel needs, so let's keep a bunch coming in from the US. Yeah, that extra infrastructure here is going to help. Should also check for any infrastructure repairs that need to happen. Not really. Malta is okay for now. 30 German subs! Sorry, convoys. Oh ho ho! You know that was losses. You know that was losses. Like men trying to come across. Oh, they've beefed up the Gave's defense again. Let's try another attack here. Just all out. Give me the full frontal right away. We're in low supply? There's the decryption. Just taking time to get here, basically. Wow, it's a really stern resistance, but we are pushing them out now. Okay. Rommel's Africa Court are on the bottom of the Med. Hell yeah. That is probably pretty much what we're looking at there. Alright, send these guys in. Hold the attack in the north. Keep one more there. Let these guys reorg and then we'll just hit them again. But this time win. Yeah, just fighting in the air here. Not really got any close air support around. Who's my good close air support? Are you any good? Probably not, right? Let's fly some of them over here. And send some fighters over to Tunisia. I think that's yeah, a bit more balance there. Attacking the motorized, we will make them regret splitting their focus once these guys arrive. Okay. Meanwhile elsewhere. These territorial divisions, tempted to put them here. But no, I think they're okay here. These guys were going to get assigned to the east. Because while I am going to kind of run with my... Oh, we're not currently decrypting anyone. I am going to run with my tail between my legs from Japan. We do want to try and hold Malaya regardless, so... Okay, they did push us out, but we're going to be able to push them out right back. And with the reinforcements here, relaunch this offensive. Good. You can go that way. Good. And with the close air support engaged, we should be able to have more luck in some of these fights. The close air support, I don't know, I feel like it's not that good this early. But I don't really know what I'm talking about, so. Some transport ships. Nice. Lots and lots of decisive victories at sea. Oh, especially that one. Missed that fight entirely, but look at that. The Battle of Malta. We had, yeah, one of our major, our main, what's it called? Alexandrian fleet in there. 2 heavy cruisers, improved heavy cruisers. Oh, the Trento and the Bolzano. I'm pretty sure I've heard of those, which means they must have been at least somewhat important. That's really good news. And yes, now that we have the German cipher decrypted, we are looking at significantly better intel on them. Can I see the Italian? No. Yeah, they're not... Oh, we got 70% right now. Let's... Oh, that shows us task force size. Hang on, that 70% shows us... Oh no, port tooltips with task force count. Okay, so I can see there are 5 task forces in Wilhelmshaven. And no one anywhere else. Okay. And then what's this colour? Coastal forts, okay. And we have indeed pushed them out of there. Good. In doing so, freeing up some more men to move over to here, but I'm going to let them complete the attack move first, just in case. And there, yeah, even when it's just 2 of my scout forces against them, we have them substantially, well, only relatively outgunned, but substantially out-torpedoed. Okay, yeah, getting straight on in there. Another ace pilot. Nice. Yeah, Germans... Is that Italian to subs? No, Italian is just it's showing up with the Italian flag because it's a... sorry, Italian, it is an Italian sub, it's not an Italian destroyer, which was what I thought it was showing, and that was confusing. The problem will come here, of course. Ooh, interesting. Union Associated Republics has declared war on Finland. Not a big shock, obviously. If once France falls, their ability to base short-range planes here is going to be very worrying. That's where this becomes a concern. We need to try and hold the skies. Not enough manpower to fill our garrisons. Ah, no, it's just because we're missing some uniforms. Okay. We do have garrisons set as high priority, right? Yeah, operations and garrisons are top priority. Okay. Another good victory there. They reject Soviet demands. Let's try and pull a fast one on them. It's a risk, because those guys could get encircled and destroyed, but... Can you ask for equipment? I could, but I really don't want to go through all my guys and say, like, hey, will you give me anything? Probably not, right? But you want to give me some trains? No. Okay. How about you want to give me some field uniforms? No. I mean, it's just a very, very tedious process. So I think I'm okay with our current situation. And partial mob is coming, at which point we're going to start getting seriously more factories. Let's send the... Well, do I want to go along the coast? Do I want to try and make a play here? Let's try and speed things along with a pinning attack. It's risky. It's risky. These guys are retreating in the wrong direction, though. Okay, good. Fool from the USA would be nice. That's true. Don't think there is enough world tension for that yet, though. It's true. If it's something really big, trying to get some fuel out of the US, for example, might well be worth it. Underground contacts, good. Just keep doing that all the way up, I think. So that should make you able to go a bit higher. Or maybe it doesn't increase the max, it just increases the speed you get there. Yeah, it looks like that's the case. Okay, and let's put you, well no, you on this. You can move across. Then we're going to launch that attack on Gabe's. Okay, yeah, attack here obviously failed, but stalled them, and then moving here, they're going to be a low org when they arrive. But yeah, we're making the play here. We'll try to see if we can encircle them. More dead transports. One field uniform. Right. That's a good point, actually. How much anti-tank? Not enough to put it into infantry yet. Radio, can put it into mobile. Yeah. I don't need truck radios. Can put infantry guns into mobile battalions. Yeah, do it. And then we need a lot more before we can put it into infantry battalions. Fair enough. Have done that repair into Brook, though. So we're up to 30 here. Let's motorize it a bit. We still got this one motorized, right? Yeah. Turn that off. Give me proper motorization into Brook. It says 50%. I have enough to do this. So I think it's going to work itself out. Maybe we just have to move them there. Needed 160, we've got enough. Needed 300, we've got enough. Yeah, there we go. Nice. That gives us the supply we need here. And now you, same deal. No, it needs 600. It's flat amount then, I guess, per thing. There we go. Okay. That gives us max supply in these areas. Which is obviously a massive tactical advantage. And if we can push through and encircle these guys here, that's the end of their efforts on this front. There is another major fleet engagement. Well, no, it's not major. It's major on our end. Andrew Cunningham's gained experience. Nice. Oh, I like that pop-up. That's very satisfying. So normally that kind of stuff happens without you really noticing. Ah, these guys were driven back, unfortunately. Send in some more border guards. There's too much visual clutter everywhere. I do think that the unit cards could be smaller. Wow, the French are really pushing into Italy. It's such a shame that it's all for naught. I guess it's not all for naught. It is, you know, it's Italian casualties, which is still has long-term value. Which sounds very cruel of me to say, but it's true. In this very particular context. Alright, can change a law. But yeah, we know what that needs to be. It needs to be war economy. Send the motorized straight back in. I don't think I am going to get this encirclement off, unfortunately. That being the case, let's launch the offensive now. Yeah, crushing them even though they're in the mountains. Let's take a look. Yeah, low supply minus 20. Nice. Resistance occupation in Eritrea. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. We might need to try and get some armored cars to take less damage from that. You moving? No. Alright, well, if they're going to let us take out Zabava, they're going to suddenly find themselves in a world of hurt. Just keep coming down here. Launch that multi-front offensive. Come in here. You still holding? Yeah, these guys haven't moved yet. Okay. Empty tiles I will take. Okay, meanwhile, this attack is stalling, which is actually counterintuitively kind of good. Because if I can get here before they can, before we win or lose that fight, then they're encircled, and then we can win the fight, that puts us in the optimal position. Okay, I think we can go to speed 3, honestly. Like, things are progressing very much in our favor right now. And there certainly ain't no phony war. Alright, yeah, lots of those coming out. Oh, piercing medium capped shell. Give me another just kind of basic torpedo attack from torpedoes, from submarines rather. Nah, give me more piercing shells, and yeah, spend the stuff. Give me it fast. You guys, 12 hours, 1 day, 13 days, 8 days. Yeah, they don't have the supplies to move even a bit. Wow. You don't get the effects from prepare from the inevitable. Okay. War overshadows the Nobel Prize ceremony. Yes, I imagine it does. Oh crap! We gave this state to Italy. Italy, give me control of these states. Give me control of this state. Please tell me they just say yes in all cases on those things, because it would be really annoying if they're like, no, we, Egypt, your protectorate, deserve an equal share. Because you just kind of, I mean, maybe you deserve it, but you know, you're not going to get it. Alright, and now we launch the all-out offensive here. And with them encircled, once these guys reinforce in, they stand no chance. Especially while many of them are focusing on trying to attack out, something that they can't actually complete while they're still stuck in here. You guys, yeah, you're falling back. Good. You keep pressing on. You pin them. And there they go, and then it immediately starts the second one. And they're now in multiple combats. Oh, Italy. Oh, Italy, you poor, poor boy. That has got a sting. And with 5 guys here, launch on the other front. Yep. That's, oh, well, I should have thought of that. 5 guys isn't actually going to really help there, is it? Ooh, some German tanks appear to have arrived on the Italian front, which is a little scary. Where were you on that, subby boys? You guys operating down here. That was a silly idea. Of course, the Italians aren't going to be able to do anything there. Join this fleet. And, yeah, come join the sub-raiding up here. You guys are in reserve. You guys are doing what you can to protect. Okay. Yeah, once again, they're just not... It appears that the Italians have just given up on the idea. There they go. That's got to have been a big casualty for the Italians. Let's take a look here. We haven't looked at the combat log. The last 12 months, we've lost 21,000 manpower, and in that one fight, they lost 33,000. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Italy is at 287,000 casualties. Even with all the casualties we've killed on land, you know most of them were sunk trying to cross the Med. Alright, keep coming straight on through. And yeah, these guys are just about to capitulate. If we could take here, that would probably do it. And now these guys have finally moved. They're very, very close now. 94%. This actual infantry division, I'd love over here. So let's be having you up here. And likewise with the motorized. 5 destroyers taken out there, which leaves us free to attack those subs. They're obviously moving out of Benghazi to try and retake some of this land, but it will do them no good. Meanwhile, over here, that battle is won. Excellent. You no longer need to hold that point. Move on up. Ah, they did. Okay, so this is some light armor divisions. Yeah, but they're undersupplied. Badly undersupplied. Probably because we sunk a ton of them as they tried to cross. We can modify the officer corps. A spirit of the Air Force. Yes, that's a good idea. Accidents chance. You do lose quite a few to accidents. Spirit of the Academy. Research. 4% research. For 1% consumer goods. I don't know. Is that worth it? I do think this is probably worth it. Supply grace and supply range. It's tricky to know. Oh, this is just great. It does, you know, lock us out of any of the others, but this seems great. It's just flat good. Yeah, give me that. It's going to cost a lot of army experience, but we're gaining a fair amount at the moment. And okay, attack on Benghazi is not going well. They have short bombardment helping them out. They shouldn't though. Go wipe out whoever it is that's giving them that short bombardment and get me that encirclement. Okay. Yeah, cool. Hold those off. Hold those off. We'll get some planning bonuses before we try this. Darn, they did manage to reinforce here with such a trash little division with no equipment. Launch, yeah, just launch any offensives you can on these guys because just a couple of empty tiles will make them surrender. I wonder if divisions really got commands like drive from Ethiopia to Libya, have fun. Excuse me, they're not driving. They're taking the train. But yes, I'm sure they did get those commands. I mean, not regularly. It's not a kind of normal redeployment order, is it? But I'm sure they did, yeah. People did move, you know, from theatre to theatre. But again, not often, because it took an incredibly long time. There's another, what looks like good series of good naval engagements. We lost a destroyer. It's a shame, but they lost 2 and a bunch of transport ships. And the strike forces here. And their ships go to the bottom. Nice. Okay, here we are in here. Let's keep things simple. Let's push here, and then push here. While one of them pushes east. And then these guys will be completely cut off from supply, and we can wipe them out. Give me partial mob. Thing is, actually, well, we'll check. I'm not certain. It might just give us partial mob in 2 days, rather than starting the mobilization, you know, clock. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we might spend this political power on something else. Like a chief of the navy. There they go. Falling to the encirclement. Supplies-wise, Tobruk, still in range of some of them, but not as many as it could have been. So we kind of need to take Benghazi relatively quickly. As soon as it's encircled, we'll move in. There they go, capitulating. 6,000 field uniforms, that's amazing! That's exactly what I needed. Excellent. That's really good news. We were in a deficit of that a second ago, and a bunch of desert warfare equipment. And there's partial mob, amazing, which is indeed going to take daily progress 0. Sounds unlikely. Let's wait a day. It's going to be 100 days before it's fully mobilized. So yeah, we should send this political power on something else. So should we embargo Germany? You think that's the right thing to do now? Maximum anti-air will be useful, but I don't think it's really urgent. I think what's more urgent is probably some Emergency Powers Act stuff. Or would I rather have cost down for destroyers and escorts? Or, you know, battleship bonuses. And I mean, there's a lot in here, isn't there? Give me... This stuff is good. There's a lot of war support to be had. Let's get the war support. Let's just crank our war support for a minute here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Also, this is... I mean, that's 6 military factories right there. That's pretty good too. Right, but we do need to spend this political power, so we could spend it on a chief of the navy, which seems like a no-brainer to me. We really ought to have one. Yeah, I think I mean, Cunningham, he's been doing good work for us. Naval AA is going to be important. Let's get Cunningham in charge of the Navy. Is that really what I do? We're not having trouble with the Navy is the thing. We can appoint him at short notice. Spirit of the Air Force, by the way. I forgot we were supposed to do this. Or rather, I meant to do this. Just give me air research speed. Yeah, air research speed and cheaper Plane manufacturer cost seems fine. We've already got the plane manufacturer, but we're going to get another. And yeah, let's do that. Let's get a interceptor, multi-role fighter. Yeah, just give me the supermarine aviation. Give me the fighter cost, because they're the things we're going to build the most of. Because if we have enough fighters, yes, we might not be doing as well as we could be, but we're doing plenty well, right? So give me the supermarine aviation. And then with a decision, ooh, interesting. If Spain goes to war with us and Italy has lost Africa, then we can get Portugal to join us. I think I am going to do these and lose this as the base stability and get the research bonus, because research is one of the places I feel I really struggle. Oh, interesting. Today is the day when King Haile Selassie could finally... Selassie could finally return to his beloved Addis Ababa, which is just going to give us a flat 25% compliance in Ethiopia. Long live independent Ethiopia. Long live Great Britain. Nice. Very nice. They're still going to 66% resistance. Ouch. Earthquake. Okay, but we've got these areas under control now. And yeah, local autonomy I think is fine. Just try and get as much compliance as we can here. Okay, there is the encirclement on Benghazi. Let's launch the attack. So, with these guys, these divisions, it is a little premature, I think, but we're going to send them over to Singapore. Because we need... I need Singapore to not fall. Apart from anything else, it's a fair amount of my oil, but it's obviously also very important for rubber and incredibly important strategically. Now, the rest of the guys in... What is this? The Med? What are the Med armies? Okay. It's some Egyptian cavalry. Well, first off, it's got one of my infantry divisions, which should really be under this guy on the front over here. So get him over there. Attention! Egyptian cavalry and Egyptian infantry. There are some port... I mean, how good is the cavalry? Is it any good? It's not bad, honestly. It's got some semi-motorized infantry in here. I'm worried about Vichy, France. So I'm considering deploying some men over to this, like, west side of Africa. And yeah, let's do that. Let's just beef up with a couple of extra divisions that can actually fight to each of these ports, such that if we do have to declare war on Vichy France, we can at least take very rapid control of South Africa. Southern, sub-Saharan Africa, I mean to say. Now, next, we have the African port defenders, which should obviously just be beefed up with... Well, maybe not this cav. Like, this cav seems pretty good, honestly. Vichy is not at war with you? Yeah, but I want to be at war with them. I don't want a neutral power controlling North Africa. I want to control North Africa so that I can fly planes out of it and base ships out of it. And guarantee that if Spain does go against us, we can immediately strike to take control of the southern side of Gibraltar before we lose control of the north side, which we probably will. Yes, sir. Oh, these guys are really experienced. Cool. So Montgomery, your militia and garrison guys. Understood. You want total Krieg? Yes, more or less. Go to African ports. Let's get a few. Why isn't this working? Shift click should deselect one. Yeah, see, it worked that time. Give me some garrisons here. There's already one assigned there. And then I guess the rest. Oh, first off, just stick them here for a sec. The militias are really bad ones, right? Well, they're not truly terrible. The garrisons are truly terrible ones. Just delete the garrisons. We don't need them. Give me the manpower back. These British militia troops, they can fight. Like, they can do some stuff. Yeah, bum, 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 bum. Send them over to Singapore too. Because I'm going to try and, as we said, we're going to try and hold Sumatra and Borneo and Java. And we're going to struggle. Alright, lost. There's a bunch of destroyers. Destroyer. Transports. 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 Ooh, we lost 4 submarines there. That's a pretty bad one. Okay, yeah, close all these then. Any other battle reports in the North Sea that I'd be interested in? 27 transports, 2 transports, and 18 transports. Holy hell. Germany, what is you doing? Okay, this attack continues apace. They are pulling back, or maybe being driven back by the French, not sure. Who dares does indeed win. No more Lend-Lease. No more Lend-Lease. Fine. God, it takes so long to mobilize the freaking economy. Is there anything else I'd rather do? Like train the workforce. It does hurt the stability, but that means it's a lot of production efficiency growth. Oh yeah, right. I should do this just because it seems to be free political power. So, I don't know. Let's just do that. Purge the infiltrators. Why not? And then I think we just spent on something else. So I don't think I want to grow the bracket yet. I mean, we're fine on manpower. The lower we can keep the bracket, if we can just win with, you know, massive air and naval supremacy, holding off the Germans as long as we need. UK demands Egyptian. We should consider taking over Egypt so we can better defend the Middle East from the Italians. Let's save in case this like bugs out, because that seems like the kind of event that could. But I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Might as well. Demand Egyptian lands. Egypt saved from fascist menace. An ultimatum. Okay, we got it. Demanding to see the king. He signed his abdication. Okay, cool. We'll see what comes of it. So we gained control here, and we have no resistance or compliance, because apparently it's a core state. What? So that just dramatically increased our core population? This should not be a core state. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's going to be helpful. We could lower the bracket now. That's kind of insane. That's very helpful, though. It's going to make, yeah, all that building, potentially supplies recently, more useful. So what is that? An extra 10.7, you know, 15, 16, 17... 17 million core population that we just gained. You love to see it. That's a very substantial increase. Is that because we took the Imperial Federation focus? I don't know. What are you doing? Oh, right. The Egyptians have all been unassigned from their respective front lines. That's annoying. Yeah, you keep doing that move. You come over here. The fight for Benghazi is ongoing. You guys should just be assigned here. Let's try this. Yep, looking good. It's a very close fight because our guys are really badly organized, but have these two come down and reinforce. Oh, it's not actually working. No, they've got reinforcements. Okay, good stuff. Absolutely hammering them there. Okay, other guys that I've got unassigned. Some cav, which I'll leave around there. Who else? You. Get assigned there. So these are now just, you know, native English, not English, but, you know, British divisions. They're not not expeditionary forces or anything, so we might want to consider swapping out some of their templates in the fullness of time. We should probably also, yeah, Egyptian infantry should have a slightly different logo. Ooh, Egyptian infantry actually have desert support and seem otherwise like a good infantry division. So let's add, they have a hospital, what are they missing? Heavy artillery. Okay, so we're going to use these as our desert guys. Okay, nice. So we'll just use them as our, yeah, as like our standard desert division. And to make that clear, let's make them yellow. Cool. Can I click and drag these? Yeah. And they're, yeah, honestly, they're elite. They're important. And then Egyptian cavalry are quite dissimilar to our cavalry, but I'm not going to build any of my cavalry. I'm pretty sure. We might actually build our tanks from my cavalry now I say that. Our basic cavalry have desert support companies. Interesting. Well, no, I'll probably build our tanks from the motorized. So it's just delete our cavalry. They can be our cavalry, and we'll call them Egyptian cavalry in honor of our newly integrated core subjects. Another easy win. Bunch of stuff lost there. You two were the ones going over here. Okay, one there, one there. King's Own. It's a good name. Good name. Works both before and after their independence. And yes, we are successfully moving in here. Some more German light tanks to be driven off. Hit them here before they can reinforce. Support them. Should be fine. A very, very low supply. I don't want to rush across to Tripoli. I mean, I do want to rush across to Tripoli. You know I do, but I'm not going to rush across to Tripoli because I don't want to risk these German tanks causing problems for me. We're going to just try and wipe out all the guys behind the front first. Alright, Benghazi's finally fallen. Only 2 more days for you. 1 day for you, so you guys can divert south. Get yourselves down here speedily. You've got no org anyway. You two. What's the supply situation now? Benghazi is a supply hub, so once we get that, we'll be better off. We do need some more, yeah, port guards over here. I can probably still got some guys here. These are good divisions, aren't they? Yeah. Assign them. I guess I assign them over on this side of the African front, with the expectation that they go home. Go to France via fighting on this side of the front. But let's have them head across. That's going to take you ages, actually, isn't it? 66 days. Yeah, don't do that. That's silly. Whoops. Go via the port. That'll be much faster. And then any other Africa troops? Nope, it's just the port defenders now. Okay. You're a border guard, but you're actually proper Egyptian infantry, so I don't want to send you over there. Come and garrison a port up here. These are important ports to not lose. And again, I'd like you to go via sea. Yeah, it's cool. I kind of like the story there of, like, we pushed out and Egypt was like, wow, they can defend us from the Italians. We'll join you. Lost an escort, but took out another Italian cruiser. Their navy must be in not great shape. I don't remember how many destroyers they started out with, but wasn't it above 100? I feel like it was. Okay, we got in here. You can keep going to defend. These guys are barely holding, but they did just hold. Nice. Which means you guys should be able to wrap up this front here. And it means we can start attacking out in this direction. Safe in the knowledge that these guys will cover our flank. Okay, and there with Benghazi captured and motorized. this demotorize. You really can't right-click to reduce the motorization, huh? We put ourselves in an excellent position over here, and it's got an airbase for 400 planes. Heck yeah. Ooh, a large cruiser interwar. Okay. We're not quite ready to actually do anything new with that, but we will be. Oh, we will be. You guys can fly from there, as can you. You have longer range, so have you pivot over. Good. Okay, I believe I'm still not ready to actually build my new cruisers or design them, because yes, I need the advanced cruiser scheme, but we're not going to spend the naval experience. Also need the new destroyer hull. You guys spreading out like that. Don't really need to, actually. Let's just ram them straight into the coast. There's the road network. Better supply. Good. Very pleased with this African campaign, by the way. More recruitable pop and civilian construction speed. Yes, please. Haven't seen hide nor hair of a Italian surface fleet, which is obviously quite pleasing. In some time now. We are struggling here, but with these reinforcements. Let's have one of you turn around and back them up there. Come on, French, launch an offensive. These guys have got no org and no supplies. Modify the government again. Heavy aircraft manufacturer. I mean, we probably should. The air research speed across the board is nice. Did I raise the standards? No. Yeah, let's raise the standards, since we have the political power right now. It's going to take some time, but I think that's worth it. We're not going to be interested in, you know, rushing out troops in no time or anything like that. Generally, we're onto the war where it should be relatively predictable. Decision. Military parade in Ethiopia. Yeah, okay. Just to kind of, it shows them who's boss and gives you some political power. Costs 3 civilian factories for 30 days. Yeah, do it. It does give some opposing party support, but not too much. We are taking attrition here, but supply is more or less under control. Not completely, but more or less. Meanwhile, in the west, yep, we managed to hold that pocket closed. Exquisite. Emergency powers is going to give us some output. Ooh, it does take 100 political power. I didn't notice that. Seize the home front. Some of these are nice. Infantry equipment, assault equipment, machine guns. It's going to put two small arms and equipment factories on the Falkland Islands. I think I should rush this, really, and then we'll get the war support after that. The extra research slot is, as ever, very hard to pass up. Those motorized can keep rolling on through. Look at that. Glorious victory before even spring of 40. We have, it looks like, secured our victory on the African front. Of course, if we do decide to go to war with Vichy France, that will be another matter. But we'll see. Oh, and they are mobilizing up. Why is that? Ooh, the Altmark incident. Uh-oh. The German tanker Altmark returns to Germany with captured merchant sailors intercepted. They lose one stockpile, and we get a decision. Align Norway with our interests. Which loses some command power, and in 90 days we demand access to Norway. At which point they say no, and Germany declares war on them anyway. I think, if I remember my history. How are we doing size-wise, by the way? Still slower on land doctrine because of our army size, but much faster on navy. Cool. Outmark incidents, yeah, tensions indeed rise. Do we have enough equipment to deploy a few more? Oh, we do. Excellent. Let's get them training then. Still just short heavy artillery? Yeah. Hey, France, want to lend me some heavy artillery? I'll give it back to you when you take Berlin. They're not gonna. Yeah, the Lend-Lease system could really use another look. So it's very, very tedious to interact with at the moment. Let's deploy the men here and automatically deploy them to this. Put this on 1 though. Okay, cool. So yeah, we should probably send some men over. I mean, the other thing is, do we fight Germany for to hold Norway? And I think the answer is yes. It's going to complicate things. Alright, it's 1940, which means we need all of these things. Just so many of these things. Let's start here. I think I can cancel. Yeah, housing can be delayed. We need the new infantry equipment. Yeah, okay. Good. There's them encircled and destroyed. We can let the French handle their last little bit. We're not here for glory. We're here for victory. Don't mind if the French get some of the glory. Pressing on over and just, yeah, we're just wrapping them up at this point. Exquisite. Defensive works. Good. There's way more electronics. We need to start getting some radios going. Let's get some cores radio. Core HQ radio. Reinforced rate, planning speed. All good stuff. You guys should have been strat redeploying. Underground contacts. And actually, these 3, I'm going to send them home. Wow, that's so slow in the mountains. It's unbelievable. Okay, you 2. And where are you going? To that front? No, let's not do that. Instead, you 3. Come home. Right, we actually have the home front. Oh, I have some men in Hull. I forgot about them. Infantry, go and join them. Go and join them in Hull. As should those guys I just deployed to them. You 3. Come home via Liverpool. Let's say there is a chance to get intercepted. Hold. 92% chance of being just intercepted. Really? It seems I don't believe you, to be honest. 92% chance, really? 93% chance. Where are they raiding? I don't know of any raiding that would make that true. Well, let's just do it anyway. Let's just do it and be legends. Because if I could send these veterans of Africa to go and fight in Norway, that would be fun. You know what else we should probably do? Well, no, because as soon as they take Denmark, they're going to close this the Danish belts, which will obviously be a problem. Ooh, caught them out again. Another destroyer down. And yeah, they deployed another 2 cruisers against me. That was a mistake. There they go. Boom. 2 light cruisers and 2 destroyers. Ouch. That's got a sting. These guys are winning handily in North Africa. Let's deploy more men back to the home front in case they're needed. Is that smart? No. Let's. Well. Yeah, I think I am going to do that. You guys, come back home. I think I will, however, make sure you don't sail through the Med by sending you to Casablanca manually. Alright, the strikes seem to be slowing down a bit in this area. Let's expand to the Balearic Sea. Is this the Balearic? Balearic Sea? Yeah. Don't units that are acclimated, I think you mean acclimatized, to heat do really bad in winter? I don't know. No, it just makes you better at heat. It doesn't make you worse at cold. Which was what I thought. Alright, keep on keeping on. And yeah, they're trying here, but with their supply situation versus mine, they're doomed. Send them to Malaya. I could send some decent infantry guys to Malaya. It's not a bad call, actually. Finish those missions yet? Jesus, we're progressing so slowly. I kind of love it, though. Like, we're being so methodical. It feels very intentional, as we might say in business. Alright, yeah, rolling through. Infantry can join them. We have, of course, taken a fairly sizable amount of attritional damage, I have to imagine. Yeah, we've lost 1,000 field uniforms, 500 infantry equipment, 100 machine guns, 100 mortars, 85 light artillery to attrition. But still feeling like we're in a pretty good place. Are taking some hits from the air now. You guys got enough training? Yeah, that's plenty. Go back to interception. I think it is worth doing that interception training. Sorry, doing that training. Just the air attack and stuff. It's pretty significant increases. They are trying to bomb us here. I need to stay kind of spread, though. I'm not going to... I did not see what that was. The Iran problem. Demand the external German businesses. Yeah, you know what? We actually have been... Like, we now have enough infantry that I wouldn't mind deploying against Iran. You know what I'm worried about? And it's a stupid thing to worry about because it's definitely not going to happen. I'm worried that we're going to beat Germany and France. It's definitely not going to happen. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I thought I had a bit more time. Germany has declared war on Denmark. Okay, forget the channel. We need to make sure that they can't make this invasion. Yeah, find them and destroy them. Do not allow them. Forget the channel here as well. Denmark and Germany have signed a white peace. Germany is now the... Sorry, Denmark is now the Danish protectorate. Okay. Norway. Don't do it, Norway. Can I guarantee you? I don't have the political power. North Sea Fleet. Forget the French Channel for a second. What matters right now is the Norwegian coast. We must not permit them to launch an invasion here. If they only invade around Oslo, obviously that's still bad, but more manageable. We have men ready. There it is. They joined the faction. Okay. Lads, the time has come. It's time to open a new theatre. The Scandinavian theatre has begun. It has reinforcement priority. Archibald will need a friend. And a field marshal. Ben Montgomery. Take command of the 2nd Army. Brooke. Claude he's too defensive for this fight. We need Brooke. Get him in here. They will take some time to deploy. Not long though. I'm gonna need you guys to transport straight over. What I'll do, I think, is actually delete these orders and have you guys transport straight over. No time to waste. Escorts. Forget about down here for a minute. I need you to cover my supply lines to Norway. Army is overstacked. I'm on it. Yeah, don't worry. Thanks, though. I appreciate the call out regardless. Okay, I think I feel like we have a good chance of holding Norway, but we'll see. French Republic has called Norway as our ally. Any decisions associated with Norway? I wonder what align Norway to our interests will do now. Doesn't seem like there's any new missions for that. Okay. Think about rushing all our guys over to help Norway. You're a territorial division, aren't you? Yeah. Is that, of course, this is going to leave us rather short-handed were Germany to launch a daring offensive against the Benelux. So we'll see. Iceland has taken control of foreign affairs and is now in the Axis? What? No, that's not what happened. They declared independence and then England invaded them. Do I have a decision to attack them? Under political actions, maybe? Maybe I have a focus about that. I didn't see what research we just finished, but let's go back to housing. Okay, they have indeed attempted to raid my convoys. We are not fully screening them. That's worrying. Yep, some of them are going down. Damn! Let's take drastic measures. The reserve here. Oh, what is this? What are you? Large escort? Oh yeah, right. What are you? You're an escort. Okay, merge into this. You guys become a fleet. Wow, that's a good color. Split up a bunch, and with your massively just like silly size ships, cover my convoys. Get in there immediately. We don't need you here. I need that screening. Damn it. Took another one. Their subs are loose though. Just their destroyer now. Ooh, one of mine took some pretty nasty hits there. Oh, yeah, they're retreating. Yeah, that was bad. Those 3 transport ships represented 30% of that whole division. They haven't even landed yet, which makes me think we're in a very good place. Rush to the defense of Oslo. You 3. And one of you here. This is now contested. Enemy? Due to our rival relations with one of the controllers. Shouldn't it be contested? Because we have 1/2? Curious. We're going to burn a lot of fuel keeping that reserve fleet at sea as a ad hoc defense division, but I think that's probably worth it. And the convoy raiders move to here, cover this area as well in case they try and do a naval invasion around there. But I think it looks like, I mean, it's very easy to speak to you soon, but it really looks to me like Norway might be secure. So, welcome to the Allies, Norway. Do you get me another operative? No, shame. More underground contracts, please. Welcome to the Allies, Norway. You want to become my protectorate or something? That's kind of how this works. I defend you. You kind of owe me something, right? Give me some support equipment. No? What do we got lots of? Yeah, give me some fuel. No? Well, we have too much. Yeah, but what about if you pay me for all of this defense I'm doing? Doesn't that seem just to you? You guys are all going to Oslo. Okay, well, it's not quite right. Let's have some of you go here. Defend that one. And some of you should go over here to Stavanger as well. Where are you going? There, that's fine. Okay, you lads, hop on over to Bergen and then we'll send you north. Yes, hello Norway. Chad's got it right. Hello Norway, we'll protect you from Italy. Would you like to become a core state? Hey, it worked last time. We are running into some supply line problems on this front in Italy, unsurprisingly. Sorry, in Africa. Oh, and all our troops just got assigned away. What the heck? Have any of them actually got away? Cruiser sub. Doesn't look like it. Better medium caliber piercing shell. Time for improved sonar. Let's get the aim destroyer hull first. Join the attack on Tripoli. Yeah, supply becoming an issue because now we're going from this one, which is obviously not as good a base. But still, I suspect we'll be able to just push through the problem. Oh, Jesus. Okay, here are the Germans. Do your best to throw them back into the sea, but they have landed in serious force. How do they have the tech for this many men at once? Jesus. Just don't let them take ports. Yeah, no, cease that attack. Just hold the ports. Jesus Christ. It's contested, right? No, I can't even send subs through it. Holy hell. There's Royal Ordnance Factories. Yeah, keep on going down here. It's not giving me any spare mills yet, right? Not quite. Nearly though. Netherlands caves to the British. They're in our sphere now. Gain 0 political power. Cool. Don't think that actually does anything, right? Lowers fascism support. Okay. Free military factories. What I'm feeling the pain on right now is planes. Let's also make the pivot over from these to these, which I will do like this. Oh, actually, just put them on. Well, we have a lot of free mills, and yeah, some more naval bombers. No, because now we're too many factories in that. But then like this, and then okay, I guess I'll go. We could do with some more trucks and some more trains, and then do this. Should transfer them over with relatively minor loss of production efficiency. Yeah, we need some more Spitfires. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, so we are managing to push them out here. Just about. Let's get some planning bonus going here. They haven't attacked us at all in the north, so Archibalds, come and do what you can to contain these ones. Especially trying to stop them getting here would be good. It's time for you to move down here, lads. Yeah, so supply-wise, I've got to keep this railway intact. Otherwise, we're screwed. But as long as we can keep that railway intact, we're in an okay spot. Now, where are my other guys? Alright, there's 2 in Casablanca, right? And these 2. So you 4 should all be under this guy. And I need you... Yeah, go to Bergen. By sea. Good. We're covering everywhere they're going through that's likely to have German subs in, so I'm not too worried about that. Ooh, interesting. They've landed here as well. Nice. The Norwegians moved up to hold that line a bit. If we could take this port, it's the only port they've held so far, so if we can, you know, the rest of them are just slowly dying to attrition, but there's their offensive. Yeah, and they can't do it. Not with a port deficit. Justification, Germany is justifying against us. Okay, so they must be doing the round the, they're probably going for the Netherlands and Belgium, I have to imagine. Oh, I can see all their current focuses, but I can't see what they're doing next. Prepare for a long winter or kick the door. Oh, interesting. Yes, okay, so they could be doing around Maginot, and indeed they could do it in 17 days. Some more uniforms for Lend-Leases, yes please. And if they're doing around the Maginot, France is going to fall without me even being able to defend it. Because I really don't want Norway to fall. Norway not falling will deny them a bunch of factories, and it will deny them a lot of bases for submarines. Oh shit, they did in fact do the landing at Narvik. Okay, which is utterly undefended. Bollocks. Well, let's send some men scrambling to try and deal with that. No, actually, let's send some of these guys to try and deal with that. You two, go into this guy. And then we might have to land north of it, but that's the plan. Come here. And yeah, we do have the raiding. Let's put the raiding here as well. So they shouldn't be able to supply it, even if they do manage to land. Or even do manage to take the port, that is to say. These guys are moving down. Let's try and hold him back. Strat redeploy to Oslo. Ooh, baby. It's heating up. Damn it, that means... Oh, crap. If they're going around the Maginot, the situation in North Africa just got a lot worse suddenly. I need to finish the North African campaign before freaking France falls. And France is going to fall like a paper tiger because they have absolutely no divisions ready to do this. And they're, you know, deep in the back line of trying to invade Italy right now. Hey, things change in a moment. I felt pretty stable not very long ago. And now stuff is certainly heating up. So how scary are the German infantry divisions? Like, their base soft attack is significantly higher than mine. That's worrying. Ooh, they have military access through Sweden? Sweden, you better not be giving them freaking supply through your land. You absolute geezers. Why? Can you deploy troops along the border with Belgium? We can, but we don't have any men. I mean, I have some, but I need them in Norway. I urgently need them in Norway. Managing to hold Oslo is obviously a big win. We have so far. And here. If we can stabilize the situation here, A, Germany's going to take a lot of casualties, and B, it'll put us in a very good position to then move them to try and help hold France. But I'm not at all convinced that this is going to go as well as I thought it was initially, because we're struggling in some of these fights. So are they, though. That's bad. That gives supply to these guys. That's extremely bad. Immediately strike at them, wherever we can. Give me another angle on that. Get the port off them at all costs. Forget going over there. Get the port off them. We've almost done it. Sugar, I forgot planes. Sorry, North Africa. You're losing your planes. I need them. I need them now. Because Wellington. We know what was coming after that. It's the medium bomber, so we can get the naval bomber. Okay, oh, they're moving out to here, threatening to encircle me. Bollocks. Try and hold them there. Alright, these guys are landing. There's the better jeep. Get down here. Get down here at all freaking speed. They seem to just abandon the attack on Narvik, though. Maybe I don't know. I don't understand how they had the tech to launch these offensives. This many naval invasions. Maybe it was hard-coded. Okay, there's the port. Leave some guys in Oslo. The rest of you, let's try and roll these guys up. You can stop that offensive now. Can't lose this one. Can't lose that one. That's good, though. That's good. Some Norwegians getting in there. Let's try and hit these guys in the back. You guys, join us here. Switch which port you're going into. If you get a bonus from a focus, yeah, it's very plausible. It's very plausible. We're not actually building any armored cars, so I'm not going to invent better ones of those. 1940 artillery. Better anti-tank. Now we're finally fighting the Germans. That's pretty smart. Yeah, give me the better anti-tank. And yeah, give me these equipment upgrades. This is going to cost us a bunch of production efficiency, of course, but that's the nature of the beast. Where's the replacement? Scout car is the Jeep, isn't it? Oh man, heating up. Tank radios. You give me recon radios. Or better anti-air hit chance. Better intel from the arrays. Yeah, that's good. Okay, come on. Just wrap up these last couple of ports and then they're screwed. Come on. Mortars. Thank you. I can't. Not with that slot. With this one can they? Appreciate it. Where are you guys headed? Going after a cruiser. A single cruiser. Oh no, 2 cruisers. Okay. Still, they're in trouble. Our positioning is kind of hurting from the massively larger fleet. But still, we're giving them hell. Free mill factories. Not mills, rather. I think we need to build some more air assembly plants, honestly. I need to be able to beef up the Air Force. Let's do that. I don't want to build AA because we can get it other with bonuses. I feel like we have the radar coverage we kind of need here. These guys are now in a very bad supply situation because we managed to retake that northern port. Shit. They pushed us out of this port, which means we can't lose this attack. Oh, come on. The damn Danes are submarine warfaring me? Come on. Come now. Danes. I understand you were in a policy of disarmed neutrality. You were not able to fight them off, but come on. Danes. Don't sub-raid me. It's just cruel. I would like these guys on the Norwegian front, and we will try and move them there as soon as possible, but I don't want to risk them in the Mediterranean. We can't let them take this port. These guys aren't moving, so at least it's just this one. Ooh, and the Germans are sending in some destroyers as well. And that's just our defense fleet, isn't it? You guys are assigned here, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, they're striking north, but failing. Reinforcements rushing down. These guys are moving now. 12 days, though. Planes have arrived, and we have supremacy. Their mission efficiency is probably going to be garbage. Yeah. Oh, shit. There goes the round the Benelux fixes kicking off. We gotta win in North Africa. We gotta do it now. It's really bad, man. It's really bad. France. Give me control of these states, please. I think it might switch straight back. Yeah, there goes Netherlands and everyone joining the faction. Which is going to give me another guy. And we got the civilian administration infiltration done. Disperse counterfeit currency. Huh. Let's try and infiltrate the German army. I know we said maybe we should not bother doing this anymore, but I think it probably is worth it. Send them in. Get these guys over here. Get me those spy networks going even higher. And there is the major offensive. They did launch an offensive all the way along the front, which is obviously not a very smart thing for them to have done. Also not very smart to launch it while they still had this major offensive going on in Norway, because it will, I mean, you know, they're going to lose the major offensive in Norway, it looks like, especially if they're not, you know, don't have any more reinforcements to commit to it. We don't need to push them there, actually. Just leave 2 behind and then cross the river, and then we can push them from here. Okay, well, obviously I don't have any men to move over here, and they have massive supremacy, so I'm just not gonna. France is gonna fall, and they're gonna fall fast. It was very foolish of them to push into Italy. They should have been holding that front with a minimum of men ready to face the oncoming German menace, but, you know, I have hindsight, so it's kind of easy to say. Ah, crap. Didn't even work. Bollocks. Got the infiltration regardless though, so not quite sure how that works. Sure, infiltrate their navy as well. Oops. Ah! Infiltrate the navy. Send the German and the German. Go. And meanwhile, go and beef up our networks. Okay, unfulfilled import requests from the Raj. Fine. We're on full fuel. Do another Spirit of the Army. I think this is what I want to do rather than spending on changing our guys, honestly. Army Advisor cost down 50%. Can't do many of these without more tech. Proper heritage. Cavalry attack up. Army Doctrine Research Speed 5% is pretty nice. Command Power Gain is good. It's not very much, but it's some. Overwhelming Firepower. 60% template design cost for artillery. Bayonet strength. Get more experience. Or supply grace up. In naval invasion planning better. I think we will get the army experience gain and the research speed. Unless I'd really rather get reserve officers. Cheaper training time. Delayed tactic chance if it is the preferred tactic is plus 100. We're not going to get that. We're going to get one of the others when we got another more tech. Or we could actually go military high command. Yeah, give me military high command for the division recovery rate. Good. We're not... Bollocks. Okay, I need to save political power for war economy now. Keep pushing. Never stop pushing. We have to win in North Africa before France falls. There's much better infrastructure in North Africa, so they're going to be moving really quickly. Sorry, and in northern France, there's way better infrastructure. They're going to be moving very fast. Yeah, everyone's getting called in. There go the entire Danish subfleet, I wouldn't wonder. Luxembourg's capitulating has fallen. We get their government in exile. Which means I think I can do another free political power thing. Right, purge some people. Looks like no. I don't think I want to demand the Luxembourgian fleet. I suspect. I suspect that will not be a mighty force of ships. Alright, we have got this motorized division on the run. Good. These guys are going to be able to move in time, I think. And we have these guys on the run too. Good. Meanwhile, in the north, yeah, they never appeared. So bring that Guards Infantry Brigade. These guys are good, right? Pretty good. They're not amazing actually, but they're fairly good. Get them down here. I have to go by sea. Yeah, I will leave these guys here in case the Germans come back. Finland is falling at about a historical pace, it looks like. Attacks here continue. Good. I think we are going to be able to win the North African front just before France falls. It's like the Dutch are holding actually not terribly. This is an okay defensive line so far, but yeah, an obvious problem developing down here. The fact that Germany has a bunch of men tied up in Norway, I'm sure isn't helping them. I don't know why they're so much ahead of the historical schedule at the moment, but seems to be playing to our advantage. Two expeditionary forces. Yeah, you know what? Sure. I'll take over and put them on my own port defenses if you insist. Are these good divisions, actually? No. Fine, yeah. If you want me to put them on garrison for you, I'll do that. Okay, we've saved those guys, so you guys merge up and return to the reserve. What's this? Yeah, it's just more guys to point to reserve, okay. They can go back into fort. Fine. Okay, good. We did just narrowly hold that port. And now these guys have been pushed out and encircled. So there they go. Yeah, the motorized is breaking on their attack onto Oslo. Okay, good. Now, we might want to try and bring some of our men home from North Africa. Well, I think we should probably leave them there so we can figure out what the situation is with Vichy France. Especially around the navy. Like, maybe attacking Vichy France is a bad idea because it'll suddenly put the entire French navy in German hands, which should obviously be very counterproductive to our interests. Hold. Alright, now you've crossed. We should be able to have some pushes here. Now you've arrived, you can help. Good. Okay. It's Norway campaign. Seeming pretty good so far. It's always possible that I'm speaking too soon. And yeah, terrible supply situation down here, but let's just keep pushing. Even ones we're not winning, let's just keep them pinned down so I can grab all this coastal bit. I need to get the occupations of France, because otherwise it might just flip back to Italy. But the only one I'm going to need is one state, so there's the BSA company. Good. It's going to make my infantry equipment cheaper. Give me the next one down. Secret weapons. Basically, I'm going to keep that locked on radio research for quite some time. Yeah, the loss of the French Navy is worrying. We'll have to see what kind of difference that makes to the balance of power. Just Mers El Kabir them? Yeah, I mean, we could. And I don't know how that works in the mod, but I imagine it's modeled to some degree. Those of you that don't know, that was when the British fleet fired on the French fleet at anchor when the French refused to hand it over, because handing over would violate their armistice with Germany. Not a happy day. Nice, another 2 Italian cruisers down. But yeah, I think the seizing the initiative in the African campaign has been very, very beneficial. The fact that we've been able to have so many of these naval fights supported by the French, so much of the Italian convoys raided by the French, so many of our convoys defended by the French before they fell. Very, very beneficial, for sure. Get over here. Yeah, terrible supply in the Med, but Scandinavia, we're doing okay on supplies so far. Okay, building stuff as quick as we can. And yeah, once we actually have them pushed out and we get some garrisons in the ports, and obviously now the Danes will start mobilizing. They're in fact already a war economy. How did you do that? That's going to be, you know, they're going to be a much harder nut to crack. Every day that goes by, they're going to be building, you know, I don't know how many. They only have 16 mill factories, so not a great amount of equipment, but, you know, some. It's going to get steadily harder for the Germans who are going to be able to try this again. We will have to commit some of our men to defending them in the short term, but I think in the long term, they're going to be able to do it themselves. Damn. Luck got pushed back out there. There we go. The Netherlands had to surrender, and they gave us almost no equipment because they didn't fight for very long. It's capitulated, and yeah. I will request control of the Dutch Navy. I expect them to say no, because I think they always say no if they have more than a certain number of ships, but they might have changed it in Black Ice, so it's worth 25. Oh, they said yes. Exquisite. Alright, well that is, that's a fair number of ships we just got. Okay. So where are they all? There's a bunch here. Yeah, Southern Bight, Home Fleet. That's my meant to be reserve force, isn't it? Yeah. So merge all these guys up. And then you guys are over in the med. Okay. You can just join the med escort force then, I guess. We'll give you something to represent your Dutchness. Your destroyers. So you can be, yeah, DD, but you're orange because you're Dutch. Cool. Go help cover my convoys. And then you guys are all your Dutch submarines. Cool. You can convoy raid and try to punish the Germans for what they've just done to you. Sounds good. And let's see how the Dutch submarines do in the German coast. Could go badly, but I'm not too concerned. The rest of you in position in Chestnut, yeah, just merge up and indeed merge into the reserve. And then we'll use them as yeah, we'll just use them to replenish ships as we lose them. But that's a pretty nice little gain of ships there. And I say pretty nice, it's extremely nice. That's a lot of extra ships that we just gained. And now we can push them back tile by tile. And they shouldn't be able to do much about it. Okay, so you three, I reckon, are extraneous. In fact, let's simplify command here. Archibald, you're going to be my Norwegian man. So you're going to keep control of the men that are going to stay. And then the rest, I'm going to transfer over to Montgomery. And Montgomery is going to lead the charge back to France. And we're going to see what we can do. We might be able to... I mean, I'd like the French to have higher legitimacy in their exile government, because then we can get, you know, way more manpower and stuff from them. So that would be advantageous if we could. You hold Oslo. One of you should stop and hold here. Yeah, good. But you and you can switch over. Get yourself to the port. Get yourself to the port. They're taking the railway. Okay, this should be sufficient, I think. These 5. It's a start. It's a start. And this guy is going to get rush deployed. Added to this and sent over. Now, I'm not sure where it makes sense to hold. I think we just add ourselves near the coast, basically. See what we can do. Which does mean we need to make sure we're convoy escorting in these zones. Don't really need that zone. Okay, good. Okay, there is the coast acquired, and we did get control of this province at the end. In the end, nice. Alright, push them out. They've got no supply now, so this should be able to destroy them real quick. And then I guess it's time to position some men here on the front against Tunisia, and potentially anticipate just having to do all this again. I don't know where Free France spawns. If they, because they should keep their, like, Madagascar and stuff, I think. Okay, pushing in there. You 3 are ready. Let's have you hop over to Hull first. You likewise. Although actually this port is undefended. So you should come and defend that port. Yeah, I'm not really worried if they land in the north again, to be honest, because, I mean, what are they going to do? They just, they're just going to very quickly find themselves with no supply, and then I can come and just wrap them up. Shouldn't be a problem at all, really. More unfilled import requests. Canada is tightening up their exports. Okay. Fine. Be like that, Canada. But yeah, no supply for you in here. Oh, they have a supply hub here? What? Come now. How are you supplying that supply hub, huh? Okay, so we... Oh, it's sub versus sub. But we took out their convoys, at least. You guys. Oh, they've already reached us. Jesus. Okay, you guys. New defensive line. Try and get here. I know you're already being transported. I'm telling you to go somewhere else. Go here. You, fall back. Fall back at all speed. Oh, that's bad. Those guys might get overrun. Should be our first lost division, I think. If they were. You should garrison Trondheim, though. You stay and do that. They're still attacking into the Maginot, which is going to cost them a lot of men. I guess it's just... I don't know, maybe a pinning action. We should be able to withdraw nice and quick back to Normandy Naval Base here if we need to. They're obviously hitting them very hard in the air. They have hundreds of fighters. If those fighters fly from here across the channel and then they start bombing us, we are going to be in a little bit of a spot of bother. Not sure what we could really do about that. I mean, produce more fighters, obviously, but I mean, I'm trying. We're kept on air production for now. Did lose a sub in there. Yeah, let's not. Ah, bollocks. It's not what I meant to do. Keep upgrading, just not here. No, upgrading, not here. There we go. Good. Underground contacts, max level. I think it's going to be time soon to start supporting resistances. Isn't there a focus that helps with that? Looks like no. I think that's what this used to do. Hells don't really want that. Ah, there we go. Plant explosives, strength and resistance efficiency. Because we're going to try and get a really powerful French resistance, hurting the Germans as much as possible, or at least diverting a lot of their resources. Okay, so we should make sure we garrison this province, given that there's a supply hub here. Any other weirdo supply hubs just like sitting on the coast? No. Okay. I mean, the French are holding over here relatively well. And by French, I mean mostly Dutch. Maybe I should be more aggressive in my defense. Maybe we should try and hold Lille. No, no. Let's keep it sensible. Hold the port. You guys, strike redeploy. You got no org anyway. Ooh, caught out some of their destroyers. Is that a good cruiser? It's okay. I'm taking some hits here. But so are their convoys. Yeah, try and hold this defensive line. Then we got some woods we could try and hold. We're not exactly committing to a full-throated defense here, but darn it, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Get them. Alright, hold off a sec. Just reorganize. They have the supply hub, but they can't, you know, add any supplies to it. Anti-tank upgrades, good. What's this? Medium anti-tank. And what is this? Improved light anti-tank guns, retaining mobility and low cost with improved effectiveness. That does sound nice. I think the AA, though, is probably going to be important. Yeah, let's get the static AA damage factor. Come on, mobilize the economy. So close now. Ooh, it's a pretty big deployment there. Got the Belgians rather, helping us out as well. Belgians are doing what they can, but they're going to surrender once Brussels falls, I have to imagine. These guys can entrench up a bit. Yeah, got them with no losses. Okay, we've reorged while they haven't. Hit them again. Meanwhile, in the Med, last tiny little pockets of resistance. Okay, so in here, the Cairo divisions. Let's get them on some ports. I mean, and I am going to use good good divisions to hold these ports. I think it's worthwhile. Oh, hang on. Why hasn't this been switched over? Are there two types of... maybe they're just normal infantry. So they've just retained the same icon. You. Over here, please. You. Over here, please. Then apart from a couple of port defenders, we are gonna think about moving the rest. Rapid deploy some more troops. We could. They are pretty well equipped. Just short on heavy artillery still. Yeah, let's do it. We have the high standards, which is making it harder for us to rush people out. Could relax the standards, but I think I'm kind of happy with them. And I know they're going to break south of my line, is the issue. I don't want to extend too far into France, you know, because, I mean, we know how this story goes. We're going to try and shoot for a relatively ordered retreat. Fleet is engaged. Poor German destroyers. The positioning penalty does mean that we do way less damage, but even so. Poor sods. Okay, speaking of poor sods, thus ends the African campaign, hopefully. There we go. Belgium has surrendered. We host them 8. Didn't get much equipment out. 1 division managed to escape. You guys rapidly flee south. 3 military factories, huh? Let's just put it on what we know we need right now, which is a lot more heavy artillery. Decisions. I would love control of the Belgian Navy. And we can purge Polish infiltrators again to give me some political power. Nice. Okay. And I know I'm spending political power on stuff that we should probably be saving to go to war economy, but I feel that I have to. Belgium accepts the naval integration. Amazing. And they had 1 ship left. Really? 1 ship. Really? These are the Dutch subs, aren't they? Yeah. Submarine in orange. To show that they're Dutch. Cool. Yeah, I'm worried about when these planes start spreading out, because they have the Germans have a lot of fighters. They could do a lot with them. The problem with us holding this kind of further back line, obviously, is that a lot of the French are going to be overrun before they reach us. A lot of them already have. Have been, that is to say. What about supply lines here? There's none I can really... Not much I can really do to productively change the supply line situation. They've got too many options. Core radio. Yeah, give me truck radios. Recon radios. Oh no, yeah, please give me that naval intel. Get fighters from Norway. Good tip, thank you. Well, I'll give it a sec. I do want to finish winning this fight, but then... Now they're gone. Okay, good. I mean, right now they're not covering northern France with planes, so Let's have ours there until they do. These guys have some aces. They've had a lot of practice. Bring them up. Cover northern France. Or you can. And yeah, we'll leave some naval ones in position. Although actually let's move them to somewhere we can more sustainably get... what are you? Tactical bomber. Somewhere we can more sustainably get supplies. You're moving. Good. Okay, any other planes in reserve that we could be using right now? We do have quite a lot of swordfish fighters. Swordfish bombers, even. Let's deploy... Oh, sorry, no. Let's deploy 100 swordfish bombers. With Polish manpower. Okay, good. So that's that done. One division here, one division here, one division here, one division here. We can't leave Norway that undefended. Let's beef it up a bit. But then I think that is sufficient. So these Poles, let's bring them down. So yeah, that seems sufficient to hold the Norwegian front. I mean, they're fully mobilized now. Can't deploy these guys for another couple of percent. Australia cancelling land leases. Yep, fine. Okay, now down here in the Med, Alexander, you are my force for taking these guys out. The thing is, I don't know how many men they'd have. Because, I mean, once we're at war with them, we're going to have a... If they have the navy, we're in a real tough spot. Because they'd suddenly... yeah, God, France. Now, if never. Retreat from here. Hold the line. Send men north. Realize the existential threat that the northern offensive presents to you. Please. Norway, can I have some expeditionary forces, please? I don't think you can you request expeditionary forces like that? I don't think so. Any licenses we want to get from them? Honestly, we might want to license some mountain warfare stuff. They're coming in force. We've got some decent divisions arrayed here to try and hold them off. We'll see. France is machine gun. Not close to surrendering. The war has been going on longer than historically. I do think these cheap little sniper teams get a bit of soft attack. Seems good. What was it? New machine guns. Switch that over. Oh yes, any introductions to be done? Handheld anti-tank into infantry battalions. Yes, please. Ah, crap. But that in the short term, that makes them all have wireless equipment. Bollocks, I forgot about that. Also looks like we're just about to be short on radio equipment, so let's bump that. If we can get those handheld anti-tank over here in a hurry, that would be appreciated. We really need them, like, right freaking now. Okay, we are fighting them in the air now. And taking some heavy losses in the process. They are also covering their attempts to bomb us up here. Yeah, disrupting them. What's this? Right, this is our... Yeah, you guys... I don't know if you have any more of these in reserve. But if you do, please get them into the field. What else do we have? We have some carrier fighters we could potentially deploy. Keep reinforcing these guys as you can. Obviously, the ones in reserve will be the really bad fighters that got withdrawn. Did France get some silly debuff? No, still just Victor's the Great War. Okay, and yeah, disjointed government's not helping. Okay, well, they're about to meet our lines. Let's go down to speed 2. Things are getting pretty spicy. Okay, so in the Mediterranean theatre, we've got these 5 who are, what, rushing to reinforce here? These 5. What do I do with them? I could try and rush them into the south of France and get them up here. It's a risk. It feels like a risk. We're leaving this area undefended, or under-defended anyway. And you guys are also ones that we haven't put on there. The Coast Guard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys get yourselves here as quick as possible, and then we're going to send you over by sea. Add you to the defense of northern France. They're not pushing us yet here. Come on. I can almost send in these extra guys. These guys won't move because of bad supply down here. Oh, there's still some supply. Just go to your assigned positions. I don't want to hear any complaining. Just go there, and then if there isn't enough food, cry later. We have bigger problems. Okay, new operative coming in. That's going to be good. Free up some more people to spy on Italy for us. You never know, France might not go Vichy. They might do the whole, like, unify with this thing. I don't know if that's possible, but... The other thing we could start doing is deploying some of our agents to try and boost resistance. How does that work? Oh, can you not do that anymore? You just build a network there, and then it's passive, maybe? Can I see, like, is this being helped? Distance growth. How do you... Or maybe it's only if you have a connection you can do it? Or maybe it's only... Maybe strength and resistance efficiency exclusively relates to the strength and resistance mission. But... It is only May, yeah. I think I'm gonna do, yeah, like more picky frontlining than this. Pause. So you 3 hold this bit. I want to make sure that they're not able to cut off our line of defense. We're holding pretty well here. 3 dockyards. Give me some more. What are we short on? Honestly, feels like we need a lot more modern escorts. Well, maybe more subs. No, I think, yeah, a lot more modern escorts would be very much appreciated. Did I put some? Yes, I did. Yeah, which means these. They're not much more expensive. I mean, these do have way more. The depth charge 22 verse... It's only verse 11. Yeah, I'm not going to build any more throws, I don't think. Stop on that. So that's because some of the Norwich has just finished, or some of the float class has just finished. Sorry, we need the Gordon 2 MK1s, not the Gordon MK2s. What are you thinking of, Christo? What kind of fool would make that mistake? Just put these together so we can see easily how many of them there are. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're holding here, but we're going to bleed in the air. Look at that. 1,000 fighters already against us. Give me the improved mission efficiency. They're not bombing us right now, so also let's get these guys going. You can actually fly from there perfectly well. Oh, sorry, these are the swordfish, aren't they? But you can fly perfectly well from there. You can fly from London, can't you? So yeah, let's consolidate our air force over here for a sec. This place is overstacked. Well, you can fly from back here then. Yeah, still got some good anti-ship naval action, air action rather, going on over here. Scouts still doing good work in the Italian Sea. But yeah, I am mighty concerned about what happens when the French Navy is no longer covering convoys for us. Can I deploy the men? Yes, okay. Get them in. Get them over. Go, go, go. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm talking less. It's got very late. My throat's not excellent. Ah, more radio equipment. Nice. Have they got those anti-tank guns delivered? At least some of them? Yes. Nice. Okay, they're meeting the line now. It's a relatively good defensive line though with the woods. These extra divisions, they could be the difference maker, you know. All our scouts are engaged in combat right now. Yeah, the real problem, I mean, France falling is going to cause a couple of problems. Some obvious, some less so. I think one of the less so ones is the submarine range of the Germans is going to go very, very much up. We've got plentiful supply here, haven't we? Yeah. And holding that so far. Inflicting some good casualties on the Germans here. As are the French, honestly. That push into the Maginot is murderous. And the French are still making headway against the Italians. I don't know, maybe what I should be doing is an all-out invasion of Italy right now. But no, they have two good coastal defenses and we don't have good naval invasion tech at all. There's a big German convoy down. Loads of transports gone. Good. Alright, so this new swordfish wing. Can I see where are your fleets? When can I know that? It's at 70. Okay. Because if I could know where their fleet was and then send like a huge wing of swordfish over, that would be cool as hell. Oh, well, I know at least some are here, so come to Malta, go here, and then port strike them. Can't do it? Ah, because that's technically part of this area. No? Surely you can port strike. Oh, you carry fighters. Whoops. I meant to deploy the swordfish. Well, you come over here and fight then. Why not? Meanwhile, I'll deploy what I meant to deploy. Swordfish carrier bomber. There we go. It is rather bedtime, isn't it, my love? I won't be very long at all. On ports when French capitulates, you have ports already in Italy. You mean you think I should try and come and defend this with troops? I don't think that'll work. I think the Germans would destroy me. And we're holding here, but I don't have the men to spread east much. Fascist sympathizers arrested. Lock them up. Oh, no need. 5,000 manpower? Yeah, sure. More German transports. I hope these are infantry, like trying to transport down to the front. Is that railway junction being cut going to hurt the French in the east supply? No. Okay, here are these guys. All jumping straight in. Let's send one here. Two of them, though. We need to hold over here. I think I need this guy for that as well. You guys into port yet? Two of you are. Let's have you up here then. Oh, that's actually overstacking. Oh, right, this is a Scandinavian front still. Let's move it to home, I guess. We don't need the Scandinavian field marshal right now, but yeah, we'll call it the home front. It's fine. We're calling it the home front in solidarity with the French. Treating it like our own front. You guys, get up here. At best speed.
Yes, sir. Ready to move.
You can take the bolts.
Attention.
Good. Okay, yeah, getting them. Ooh, a whole bunch of free factories. Okay, well, I'm going to leave myself the pleasure of deciding what to build with those next episode. For now, we're holding somewhat. Oh, pause. We're holding somewhat. I mean, our troops are doing pretty well against the Germans here. The problem is I don't have the men to hold all of this as well, which means they're going to get in here from the north. The frustrating thing is that the French might have the men to hold it, but the war starting early I think was really good for the French. But anyway, I'm going to save it here and call it a part. Thanks so much for watching YouTube and Twitch. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.